man. The Bengals win the AFC, and I just want to say, even though I'm the biggest Patrick Mahomes fan,
I was
you,
right.
I was right because I said in episode one that the Bengals were going to the Super Bowl. I said that in episode one.
Did you say Bengals or you say AFC North? Because
I
Yeah,
you
I think you said AFC North,
I
man.
said that the AFC North.
I
no.
think,
Let me
yeah.
see what I said. I said the AFC North will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. I said
Oh,
the Chiefs beat. I said the Chiefs lose to the Steelers. It will be the Steelers, but the Steelers lose to the Chiefs. It's going to be the Bengals. So I called it. Give me my credit. Give
okay.
me everything you want. I may have not picked them last week, but guess what? It's okay because I predicted it right the first time. That's all that matters. But all right, man. So the question that everyone wants to know is the Kansas City Chiefs run over? Because that's what it was on the internet yesterday. That Patrick Mahomes was washed. That he's not as good as he's supposed to be. If he didn't
So
have Andy Reid,
Oh my
he would
goodness.
be a middle of the pack quarterback. That is what they're saying.
What
So
is going on with people?
I, I want to know.
People need to go back to the
good deal.
basic definitions of what certain words mean. Washed, overrated. Like, come on now. Patrick Mahomes washed because he lost a playoff game. Come on, that's a Super Bowl already. Um, I don't think he's washed or overrated. I just think he lost the playoff game. It happened to the best of them. Happened in overtime. Um, saying that is like saying Aaron Rodgers is overrated. So
Uh,
saying saying Patrick Mahomes is like saying Aaron Rodgers is overrated. Patrick Mahomes watch is like saying Aaron Rodgers is overrated. Come on, been in the league how many years? I mean, Patrick Mahomes.
this
You
was
said you said he's going to create a legacy of what?
This is 60
So
year,
how
I
you gonna
think.
say he was? You said he's gonna create a legacy.
Oh, I don't think he's washed.
Oh, okay,
And
okay,
I'm gonna go. Let me
Or
just
his
go.
fifth
okay.
year.
Patrick Mahomes is still the best quarterback in the league. Yeah, he lost his game in terrible fashion. He cost his team the game. This is going to be a learning moment for him. It's going to be a very, very important moment for him to learn and understand that the Bengals played probably one of the best defensive plans against Patrick Mahomes in the second half. And the way they schemed it up, it was beautiful the way they did off defensively. But the Chiefs, I was disappointed in their play calling. I was disappointed in the things they did throughout the game. You could see them starting to as soon as the Bengals scored that first touchdown, you could see them starting to like tense up and like not really be themselves. But yeah, for all that Patrick Mahomes talk, he's figured out this, that, and third. The internet was waiting for him to lose because he was a young guy that came in and balled right away. But now everybody likes Joe Burrow. Shout out to Joe Shiesty. He got the dub, but we got to stop this Patrick Mahomes hate. We got to. You guys are happy he lost. He's gonna get the LeBron treatment. This is like when LeBron lost to the Mavericks. This is the comparable moment for Patrick Mahomes, and this would be a legacy-defining loss. Because I'm telling you right now, Patrick Mahomes is pissed off that they just lost this game, and next year he's throwing for 55 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. And I'm letting you know it's happening right now. But yeah,
Specifics.
this is
Gotcha.
comparable to LeBron James losing to the
So
Mavericks.
say the question again for me.
Is the Chiefs run over?
I think this was their last big chance with the roster they got to get a ring within 5 years. Let me say why.
So the run is over.
For right now, just
It's
momentarily,
been 5 years
it's not
now.
over. It's paused.
You
It's paused. This is
for
let
five
me
years?
nah,
So
not
they're
5.
not gonna get it
Maybe
for.
3 years. Maybe 3 years. Maybe 3 years.
Oh my
But
god.
let's pause it. Let me say why. Let me say
Oh
why.
my god.
Let me say why. Let me say why. And I don't
Oh
care.
my
I
god.
don't care. But think
So I want
about
you
it.
to say it again. I'm gonna
You
ask you a
do
question
realize if they
again.
don't get it
It's
within
Is
the
the
next few
Chiefs
years,
it
they're
run
gonna
is
over?
probably.
it's momentarily shut down. Let me say why.
Oh, man.
They have cap problems too coming up. They're losing the honey badger. They
He wasn't
it,
he wasn't he wasn't
stop.
bad with
He's
no
still a
honey.
good safety. He's still a
He
good
was
safety.
he
He's
was,
still
he was not
Hey
bad
Chris,
with
he
one.
didn't
honey.
No,
play the
he's
whole.
still a good
He
safety.
didn't play the whole
He's
playoffs,
still a good
basically.
safety. You're paying Frank Clark all that money.
Waste
For
of money.
what?
I agree with that.
For what? You got all these. Chris Jones is getting stupid money. You got Patrick Mahomes getting, which he deserves. Patrick Mahomes deserves it, the money he gets. Then you got Travis Kelsey, and then in a few years, Tyreek coming up, right? If I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
And that offensive line is not cheap. That offensive line is not cheap. And then Orlando's a free agent, and that's a left tackle. If you
He could be
franchise
one.
him, if you
He could be
franchise him,
one.
but listen, if you franchise him, that's like 18 mil or something to the cap. The way the left tackles rates are going, that's a hit. That's why they need to get a deal done. But still, even if that deal gets done, he wants top left tackle money. He plays for the Chiefs. He's blocking for Patrick Mahomes. I've seen it before. All these Super Bowl roster teams eventually split up, and the team's not the same for a couple years, and then they get a couple pieces, and then they're right back in it. I think that's going to happen to the Chiefs. I'm not saying they're not going to make the playoffs. I just don't think they're going to make the Super Bowl consecutive years like we're used to, or the conference championship consecutive years like we're used to. The team's going to look different next year. Can we all agree that with that?
Yeah, I agree.
No.
That
I
happens
mean,
to
I
teams.
mean,
So
all
I'm
team,
looking.
yeah,
I'm looking right
That
now.
happens to teams, though, right?
I'm looking right now. So the
I mean, it's
Dolphins have the
definitely look
most.
different.
The Dolphins have the most cap space going into next year. They have
Okay,
hella money. The Chiefs, although they're not the best,
they're not the
they're
worst.
like
They're
they're
not the
not the
worst.
worst. They're like,
I'm not saying that.
yo, the Saints are bad. Yo,
Yes,
Sean Payton talked
I
the
know.
Saints.
He
Hmm.
said. He
Yeah.
said, "Let me get out of here. One more, leave a
So
boom before I leave."
the Chiefs have more cap space than you guys
I
than the
know.
Ravens.
I know.
And then
It's a
in
problem.
2023, the Chiefs are going to have a lot of cap space. Well, everyone in the league is pretty much going to have a lot
Yeah,
of cap space.
it's all gonna climb up. Yes,
And in
there's a new TV deal.
2024, they're going to have a lot of cap space as well. But players and prices will go up.
Right.
But
Exactly.
but let me see how much dead money they have. They only have 2 million dead money. That's not a lot.
I just don't see it the way. Look, you already hear what they're saying about the AFC. How it's gonna be hard for to win and for years to come. You got the Bengals. You got the Bills. You
Is he
got the
still?
Chiefs. You
Is
got
he not the best quarterback of those bunch?
he's not. I mean, he is. I'm sorry. I'm saying he is. I'm sorry.
Oh, what?
He is. But let's not sit here and act like these teams that have these great quarterbacks don't have great defenses along with them.
He doesn't though.
If I'm Patrick Mahomes, the only quarterback I'm worried about is Josh Allen and Joe Burrow.
Okay, but
I'm not even
that's
worried
two
about
people you
them.
need to run into.
Like,
And then you got teams on the rise that just need a couple quarterbacks or
I mean,
defense,
no,
a couple places on
No,
defense.
no
I,
team. I'm telling you right now, no quarterback is coming to the AFC unless
But,
Deshaun Watson goes somewhere that because he's already in the AFC.
but I'm saying look at the
Deshaun
AFC.
Watson is another
Look at the
person I
AFC
would trade
quarterbacks though
for.
right now. Look at the AFC quarterbacks right now though.
None of them are better than him.
But I'm just saying, look how hard it is going to be for years to come to win in the AFC.
He's still going to have Travis Kelsey and Patrick and
I
Tyreek Hill for the
I,
next 2 years.
I,
that's what I'm saying. Like
I
that,
get that.
and even whoever, like his other receivers, his offense is high
But I'm
powered.
saying
But
Patrick Mahomes had them this year, and look, Patrick Mahomes balled out. And this is I balled out the first half.
No, this was a. I would say this was a down year for him.
Listen. I'm talking about the game right now. I
Okay,
blame the coaching staff because they didn't make adjustments at
all right.
halftime. The
That
bank,
that's
the
my question. Who gets
the
the most blame?
the offensive, not offensive coordinators, the coaching staff, 100%, because they came out with a great plan, and they were running the ball down the Bengals' throat. They had like 100 yards first half. Why I don't know what happened second half, but um, they had 21-3 at for the largest time, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
the end of the first half. That blunder was really bad.
That messed up Patrick Mahomes' confidence for some reason, I think. Then second half, they're like, you know what, we're
He
gonna do the
didn't. He
exact.
didn't. He didn't, he didn't look confident. The team didn't look confident. They all looked tight in the second
I'm
half.
telling you, the second half, they're like, we're gonna do the same thing. They didn't make adjustments at halftime. Bengals made adjustments.
I
They
don't
were playing.
understand why. I agree with you. I don't understand why they stopped running the ball when they were literally getting 4 to 5 yards
It doesn't make
every
any
time.
sense.
They stopped playing Jerry McKinnon, and I'm like, that just doesn't make any sense. And then at the end of the game, with the
And I'm
opportunity to win the game,
saying one more thing after you. You say something. Go.
Why you're on the 5 yard line with a minute 30 seconds left? The other team doesn't have any timeouts. Why do you not run the ball twice? And then you could throw for it on third down. You have it's second down. Run the ball on second down. Run the ball. No, it's first down. Run the ball on first down.
He
Run the
threw it
ball
three
on second
times. He
down,
threw it three times in
and
a row.
then
Yeah,
throw the ball on third down. And if
threw it
you're
three
gonna do
times.
and the way you would throw the ball on third down, do one of y'all little fancy little shovel passes in or something
Hmm.
like that.
Kelsey
You know,
coming on a little trap
yeah.
play or something.
Let Tyreek run around like you about to throw it out to him, and then you pitch it into
So,
Kelsey.
can I,
Or
why didn't they try to feed him more with Eli Apple on him?
well, they started double teaming.
I
Nah,
know, but
Apple is a seat though.
you
What
need
you
you
talking
need
about?
to attack the middle of the field if they're doing that
No,
cover
so
two.
the way they were doing it was, if you didn't really notice, they were only rushing three the majority of the second half. What they would
I
do,
know
they
they're
would
dropping the DN into coverage. I remember in the
yeah,
flats. Yeah, I saw that.
it wasn't even the flats. He would bump Kelsey, follow Kelsey for a little bit, and then he would play in the middle. The middle linebackers were playing in the middle of the field, so it's more like man here.
It was
If
like a
you
show.
don't
And
have a man,
spy,
It was
you
a show.
spy.
spy and play
Yeah,
zone,
It was a
and
show.
so
yeah.
the middle of the field was not open. And
Because
so
that's how the Chiefs get their yards. They little dump and yak.
yeah, because the
Little
beginning
dump
of the
and
first
yak.
half, the first half, they were playing a lot of zone, rushing three, not really chipping, rushing four, playing a lot of zone. They
So
started manning up, have safety help over the top, and you have the linebackers play in the middle of the field to make sure nothing got across the middle of the field.
so
Um,
I got a question to counteract that question about whose fault. We all agree it's somewhat primarily coaching staff, but
I'm
Patrick
giving
Mahomes.
it.
Patrick
I'm
Mahomes
giving
is
it.
is the best quarterback in the league, correct? That's to you, right? I'm just saying,
I
right
give
Tom
now.
Brady hasn't
I
retired,
give him
so
60%. I give him 65% of the blame.
Who?
Patrick Mahomes, 65%
Okay,
of
great,
the blame.
great,
I'll go 70.
awesome.
70% of the blame goes to Patrick.
Why? All right, so you're saying they switched up for the second half, the Bengals adjustment with the DN. They did that majority of the second half, right?
Mhm.
Why isn't Patrick Mahomes seeing that, calling a different play, and
They should
getting
just
out of it?
kept they should just kept running the ball until they got out of
But
that
I'm
shit.
saying, why didn't he just check it to a run play? Like my question is, does Patrick Mahomes really have that much
that
power
authority. Does he?
I
on the
Good
field?
honestly
question.
do I think he has that much power.
Because he
He
doesn't
does.
really.
I'm gonna say no because you remember like last year or a year before he said, "Yo, I really just started to learn how to read defenses." So I think he's still grooming himself as a quarterback. Because you remember he didn't play quarterback majority of high school until he was a senior, so
But he's the best quarterback in the league.
senior year.
Yeah, that's a
So
question, Chris. Right? That you just said. He's the best quarterback in the league.
he's the
Can't
best
read
quarterback in the
defense.
league.
He
Yeah,
can't read defense.
I mean, no, he can read defenses now, but like, yeah,
Okay, I was like,
oh.
wait, but
But I'm
my
saying that the year that he threw for 50 touchdowns, he said he couldn't read defenses. He was just going out there throwing that shit up.
I mean, that's an athlete. That's an athlete for
but
you.
seriously, like, does he not? I mean, he must not have that much
Well,
power on the field to check out or something.
like Nick Cannon and drum roll.
Yeah, I think he takes sometimes, sometimes you don't. But I mean, well, sometimes
But the
if the coach
greats do
calling a
that,
coach calling a play and they call it like it works. So
I guess.
and then quarterbacks they don't want to take the ball out their hand. Only Brady's the only person that say I'll take the ball out my hand.
You got but you have Clyde and Jarek that are both rushing for
Well,
100 yards. I mean,
that's
not but
and
together,
that's
together.
yeah. So I think, and this is what I'm going to say: Eric Bieniemy is just never going to get a head coaching job,
No,
unfortunately.
he just like messed his chances up. I'm gonna be honest.
That's the sad part, man.
He
Because we
just
were
did.
preaching for it, preaching for it, preaching for it, and now they're going to use this game as an excuse to say you don't know how to make adjustments. There's no reason for us to give you this coaching job because there's no reason why they should have lost 21-3, and it's sad.
So yeah, yeah. It's sad because Patrick Mahomes now has the second like biggest like comeback like happened against him in NFL history. The first one, obviously, the first one's the Brady Atlanta.
That's not the second biggest because
I heard it today. I heard it today.
the same thing
18,
happened to Brady.
18 points though, right?
No,
So
it was what?
Oh well, whatever. It's still seconds tied then.
No, when Brady came back twice, didn't he?
But
no,
he's
I'm
talking
talking
about what
about
happened this
blowing the
year.
lead, blowing the lead.
Oh, blowing the lead.
I don't
So
Oh,
know.
the
Was it
blowing the
18?
lead.
yeah,
Oh.
Well, they're tied.
Yeah, it was
Still,
18 points. It was 18.